One of the biggest lessons that the garden is always teaching me is that it is forever and always changing. And that's a struggle for me, because by the time I think that I've got things figured out, the seasons have changed. The garden is either something is dying off, something needs to be removed. Take these beans for example. Just a few weeks ago they were beautiful and purple, and we've had temperatures well in the 90s and they are dying off. It's just what it is. The leaves are no longer as green as they were before. The few pods that we're getting are either have holes in them, they're just not as sweet as they were before. And so it pains me to have to tear this up, but here are my options. I could either leave it and let it struggle, or I could tear it out and put something in its place that will thrive and produce food for me and my family. And I just have to go with the changes. I mean, that's just, it's what I'm constantly having to learn in the garden. These fava beans really struggled. You know, the caterpillars had their way with these beans. I've already started pulling some of them out. I will most likely put some okra in here. And again, same thing with the snap peas. I will pull these out. And I will put okra in its place. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with how everything is coming along. Some things are still kind of trying to pull through. Some things are still kind of struggling, like the squash over here. It's still yellow. I've fertilized it. It's just gonna have to pull through, you know. May the strong survive. And some of this cucumber over here still got some yellowing going on. Again, this garden, it gets on average 5 to 6 hours of sunlight, so things are a little bit slow growing. It's just one of those situations where it's, you know, I just can't control a whole lot. A lot of this area is actually my neighbor's property. He's allowed us to, you know, garden in here and plant. I've got my eyes on his stainless, I guess, steel type. I'm not sure what they are, but I'm going to talk him into letting me put some plants in that. Might even have to come with my dineros, see if he'll sell them to me. But anyhow, this is the watermelon I planted not too long ago. Some have sprouted. My winter squash is coming along, and peppers are coming along here. And then tomatoes, they're doing their thing, so I'm kind of happy about that. Another major reason why, you know, trying to plant things early is just, we had some of the coolest spring that I've seen in years. I mean, just 2 weeks ago, the nights were in the 30s. So this squash is struggling because of that. I planted it early. Well, I planted it on time. We just had very cool springs and very cold nights. And then this is the squash I planted, you know, not too long ago. And you know, it's catching up with the ones that I planted ahead of time. So the ones that I waited to plant is actually doing better than the ones I planted, you know, early. Such is life. Tomatoes are going along, getting along. I planted some mustard greens in between, and they're sprouting up. Again, the squirrels are back in here digging. So I've had to lay more straw down. And I've also planted some basil, and they just haven't come up yet. So that's just kind of where we are at. I think this is just a mustard green that's come up. I planted some more melons in here that just haven't come up yet. I don't know if they're just slow growing, if this is not a good spot for them. You know, but at least the sweet sugar babies came up, so I'm happy about that. Got some tomatoes in here that are just loving it back here. And I said these were my indigos, but they're actually just an indeterminate tomato plant. These are the Isis ones. They literally, I was told they taste like candy. They're sweet and they taste like candy. I planted these down here before any of my other tomatoes got planted. And as you can see, these are bigger than these. Don't know why. I don't know what it has. My only guess is that I did plant tomatoes in this spot, this particular spot, and here last year. So I'm wondering if it has to do with the soil. I don't know. I'll probably come through and maybe add some more compost and some fertilizer on them, see if I could help them along. Look at these pole beans. They are doing their thing right here, and they're actually blossoming. So we got some blossom on them. Again, this fava bean, it's time to retire them. I just don't have the heart to just pull them out because they still got some beans on them. Like this one in particular got at least 5 or 6 pods. This one is just being torn apart by ants, and some caterpillars are having their way with it. I might just put it out of its misery. And then this one has pods. So there's just 3 more fava plants. I might just let them hang around for a little bit longer, but they'll be soon pulled out. But I'm gonna get my okra in here. I'm gonna clean this up, this area. I took out those sad, pitiful radishes. These beans are gonna get cleaned out along with this makeshift trellis. I'm gonna chug that, and I'm gonna get my okra in here. And most likely I will plant more pool beans in this pot and cage. My boys love to play out here. There's a trampoline, there's some swings. So while they're doing their thing, I'm doing my thing.